So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to IHIP News. Pumps, I saw somebody ask the other day, what does the P stand for? And I want to tell you it stands for I've Had It Podcast.
Right.
Because we have a podcast.
We do have a podcast. Comes out every Tuesday and Thursday.
Today we want to talk about the news that is important to us. And what's important to me, being from Oklahoma, is what a moron we have for a senator.
We absolutely have the biggest moron on the planet.
It's important for me to point out and put on the permanent record, our permanent record, what a moron he is. He does a great job doing this on a day-to-day basis, but we need to inject it into our feed as to what a complete moron this man is. And of course, I'm talking about Senator Markwayne Mullin, who I want to start referring to as Senator Booster Box.
Yes.
Because he has to stand on a booster box when he gives speeches. All right, so let's hear what Senator Booster Box has to say.
Democrats can't even tell us what a woman is. Well, let me help them with that. This is Lara, my daughter. This is Jace, my son. It's not that hard. Liberals think that boys should be competing against girls in sports. That's pure insanity. I'll be fighting in the Senate to stop this nonsense. I'm Markwayne Mullin, and I approve this message because our girls can compete with anyone on a level playing field.
I like how he acts like this is like this big, huge issue in America.
It just goes all through me, how myopic they are on the culture issues. It's like, what is your policy on helping education in the state of Oklahoma? Fucking nothing.
Well, I think the situation with Senator Booster Box is he wants to act like this is a major issue.
Right.
When we all know a major issue in the state of Oklahoma is the piss poor educational quality. I think we're ranked 49th in other polls, 50th in education.
Right.
But he thinks that's what he's got to go to Washington to fight for. All right. So here he is, the tough guy. This was during January 6th when they were trying to, the insurrectionists, the terrorists, were trying to get in to the House floor. And there he is, ducking down, scared.
Not near as tough as he acts like, huh?
Yep. All right. And then the next image, here he is, as you can see. Hence the name Senator Booster Box.
Very apt.
So he has to stand. And here's the thing. I don't give a shit if somebody's short. That's not my issue. It's when you act like such a tough guy, and then this is what you have to do. I mean, stand your ground on your own. I mean, he's a big, tough guy. Stand there at your full height.
He's an alpha male.
All right. This is him at a hearing talking about race.
This book or the Jesus Loves Me lyrics that says everybody's skin doesn't matter. They're all precious in His sight.
I think it's important to teach that all children are seen and valued for who they are, and that's
so.
What
But when you
Macy's
teach
research
this, don't you
about.
think that other people are start saying that white kids are to blame?
I think it's important.
It's exactly what they're going to teach. It's exactly what it is, ma'am.
I disagree. First, it is important that we teach Jesus. And
Absolutely.
Jesus is what we teach.
So which one is
But
better?
the reality
This?
is...
So do you think this is
Could
the
she
right
answer
thing?
the question, please?
No, I don't want reality. I'm asking the question, which one is better? That is
I don't want reality.
That's exactly what it is.
Got it on tape.
Misspoke. So what I'm saying is which one is which?
So there he is saying he doesn't want reality.
Right.
And there it is again, injecting religion into everything.
Right. There are over 5,000 gods and religions in the world.
Right.
But his has to be what everyone believes in.
Well, and here's the thing. He's a big Jesus guy.
Yeah.
Kylie and I got on his website prior to this, and he's an Assemblies of God Christian, which those are the tongue talkers. And so here's the thing. To me, he has a very punitive approach to politics.
Absolutely.
He wants to punish people. And so oftentimes people think, why are all of these Christians, these fundamentalist Christians, why are they all Trumpers? And the connective tissue is this. Their religion is very punitive. If you don't do it their way, you're going to consciously burn in hell, sitting in fires for an eternity. It doesn't get much more punitive than that. And Senator Boosterbox's politics and Donald Trump's politics are very punitive. They want to punish people. So that's what the connection is. Everybody says, oh, well, Jesus wasn't this way. Jesus wasn't that way. To these guys, Jesus was a white, capitalist, racist, homophobe. That's their Jesus. And so it makes perfect sense to me that these people that worship this very punitive religion also traffic in very punitive politics. Oh, this is great. This is my personal favorite. This is where he picks a fight with the Teamsters.
Now, let's talk about Mr. O'Brien himself, his behavior. As everybody knows, and it's here in the last time, him and I kind of had a back and forth. Appreciate your demeanor today. It's quite different. But after you left here, you got pretty excited about the keyboard. In fact, you tweeted at me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Sir, I wish you was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. So this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down.
Okay,
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond, Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't.
So a couple of things here. Number one, how thin-skinned he is, pulling out tweets and counting them, that he just can't. I mean, if you're going to be a United States Senator, you have to basically ignore your Twitter. Like just this small little podcast of ours, we get a lot of traffic, people mad at us. I couldn't give 2 shits. It doesn't matter. But little Senator Boosterbox is butthurt.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me that he's on his Twitter and he gets so mad that not only does he not just ignore it, he marches it into the Capitol of the United States of America and wants to have a fist fight over it. I mean, how fucking immature.
But let's
is
talk
that?
about this. One thing we hear all the time living in the Bible Belt is this WWJD, which means what would Jesus do? And you see people that have it on their bracelets. What would Jesus do? And then they wonder why we think Christians are so crazy, because this is what they do.
Right.
This is how they act. And then you've got Bernie Sanders, who I don't think is religious at all. And here he is. You're a United States Senator, for God's sake. Sit down. And here he is, this big Christian. He's a big Jesus guy. In the hearing before this, it's we've got to teach Jesus. And then this is how he acts.
Right.
These people use religion as a veneer to claim the moral high ground when really they are so breathtakingly immoral and deeply racist and deeply misogynist and deeply transphobic, and think that the whole entire world has to have this whole black and white worldview. And anybody who thinks outside of that is not going to, fit into their narrative. And I just wish that people would start telling them, if Jesus were to have lived, he would not have been white.
Right.
Okay, here he is, the big Jesus guy, WWJD. Now he can't let this go. This is a response to the Teamsters guy. And he has a gun because we all know he's, probably about 5 foot.
He's a pussy too.
And so he has his gun and he sends this to them. And this is this guy who's, 2 videos ago, we've got to teach Jesus. This is their politics. This is their religion. It's amazing to me how evangelicals are able to braid and blend assault weapons with Christianity.
Right.
But they do it. And why do they do it? Because their religion is punitive to them. It is conditional. Jesus loves you only if you love him back. And if you don't, then you're going to burn consciously in hell forever. And they're mad about that. So they want to take it out on everybody else. And that's what this guy, I mean, it's just this, I feel like in this modern world, we have these political leaders that are just like stuck 200 years ago developmentally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But they certainly are able to get out their AR-15s and run around like they're just God's gift to creation.
What would Jesus do? I guess Jesus would run around with guns.
He'd pull out an AK-47 and just go to town, threaten people, try to beat them up in the Senate, sit on a booster box, all those things.
Yeah, that's what Jesus would do.
That's exactly.
He would get a gun and stand on his booster box and pick fights with people.
Right. They missed the part where Jesus was empathetic because he clearly has no empathy.
I mean, this is just...
He's just a disgrace.
There he is again. And it's just to remind everybody.
He's so tough.
He goes from the guns to this. And this is a guy who, you know, they tell everybody they're so, you know, pro January 6th. But then this is how he behaves on January 6th. He didn't go join these people.
Well, he didn't think that they were tourists.
No.
Most certainly.
No, he absolutely didn't. And then as a gentle reminder, the last image, again.
Senator Booster Box.
Senator Booster Box. So I just want to reiterate for everybody, we live in Oklahoma, so we're very familiar with this mindset and this level of politics. And what a Republican supermajority gets you is not good. You have a poor education system. You have a state where it's very difficult for women and children to thrive. You have senators like this. I mean, every single time I turn on the news and it's a politician from Oklahoma, it's a face palm situation. The guy that he replaced was Senator Inhofe, and he's the one who couldn't understand the difference between climate and weather.
Yes, I remember.
He took a snowball because it was a snowy day in Washington, D.C. He took it onto the Senate floor and said, here's a snowball. There's no climate change. And it's just like, it's unbelievable how breathtakingly unintelligent a lot of the politicians in the United States of America are. And Senator Inhofe was replaced by somebody who's, quite frankly, maybe even dumber.
Right. Absolutely. And far more insecure that he has to run around trying to fight people on the Senate floor.
Yeah. Yeah. He feels like he wanted to pick a fight. And,
show he's a tough guy.
And Bernie Sanders scolding him. It's just a highlight. It's just
a highlight.
A chef's kiss. All right. We have a podcast. I've Had It podcast. It comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. And this is our little news channel, things that are important to us. And we will see you whenever we feel like it.
And subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to the channel.
I'll tell you what I've had it with.